So hello dear students, today is 19th of May 2020 and yesterday as I told you that I will present the issue of migration population into two parts, two videos. So yesterday I presented you about the scenario of global population, Indian population and state-wise population. Because we have to deal with the issue of migration. So before coming on that, yesterday I told you about the importance of the population issues. Okay, so you know that the population growth in India was high, as yesterday I told you, and viewing all that facts, we just witnessed that India still has a young and expanding population. Okay, so we have a large proportion of people in the younger age groups. In fact, that is an argument in favor of globalization, because many countries in the world have become old and they need more people because they are facing scarcity of workers. So if we can educate our young people and train them and send them to different countries when they are needed, they will help to run the economics of those countries. So this is the facts of the demographic dividends which India have. But due to COVID-19, things have been changed, and now the issue of migration is in the front phase. Okay, so before coming that, let's understand about the importance of labor. Dear students, we all know that a man is both a consumer and producer. Labor is an important factor not only in production but in all other economic activities. Earlier we have read in different classes that classical economists like Ricardo and Karl Marx gave prime place to labor as the main source of production. The role of labor is highlighted by some factors such as this is a basis of consumption, this is a basis of production, this is a basis of exchange, this is a basis of distribution, and overall this is the basis of economic growth. Because technically sound and intelligent labor serves as a spinal cord of a nation. Efficient labor force makes proper use of the scarce natural resources of the country. Sincere, dedicated, devoted, hard-working and intelligent labor force helps the country to march on the path of development. So this is the importance of labor. And with this purview, we have to visualize the present COVID scenario. So before coming to the migrants, as earlier I told you, I have to also present before you the issue of poverty. Because migrant labor issue, present migrant labor issues and poverty issues correlated. And earlier I said that these both are the core issue of population. So rural poverty rose nearly 4% points between 2011-12 and 2017-18 to 30%, even as urban poverty fell 5% points over the same period to 9%. This is data published by UNESCO. So rural poverty is increasing, urban poverty is decreasing. In this purview, we have to learn the issue of migrant laborers. So given the higher weight of the rural population, the estimated overall poverty rate went up nearly a percentage point to 23% in 2017-18. And the rise implies that 30 million people fell below India's official poverty line and joined the ranks of the poor over the past 6 years. Okay, so the analysis shows that the slight rise in overall poverty rates at the national level mask significant interstate disparities, and several states in the east and the northeast have witnessed a sharp rise in poverty over the past few years, even as southern state bearing Karnataka managed to bring down poverty rates. So this is the scenario of poverty issue in our country. So among large states, because migrants labor today witnessing the most of the migrants labor is from Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Odisha and Jharkhand. So among large states, Bihar saw the greatest rise in poverty between 2011-12 and 2017-18, with poverty rate rising up by whopping 17% points to 50.47%. So very big high. And Jharkhand and Odisha are the other large states which saw big increase in the poverty rates. So these three states are struggling with the issue of poverty. And in the COVID era, all the migrants are returning back to these states. The poverty rate refers to the share of the population that lies below the poverty line, and more than 40%, both Jharkhand and Odisha fall below the poverty line. Okay, so among prosperous states, Maharashtra saw the biggest increase in poverty, roughly 5 points over the same periods. So Maharashtra's situation is not very good, and the migrants' problems is rising from the Maharashtra and then from Delhi. So these all issues we have to learn before dealing the issue of migrants' labors, which we have to correlate with poverty and population. Okay. So all the estimation shows that the poverty is rising in rural areas, and the trends in the rural wage reported by the Labour Bureau tend to corroborate rise in rural distress that the survey findings have highlighted. And the Labour Bureau data show that real wages have witnessed a sharp slowdown in the years following 2011-12 and after having sharply in period between 4-5 and 2011-12. So the wages are down. That's why migration issues come into the front line. Okay. So what is poverty in India? We witness that it correlates slums with the migrants' labor. So from the village to the slum, the poverty story is from village to slum. People move from the village to get better job, and in the city they establish in the slums. Okay, so this is scenario. This is a very bad scenario. So more than 800 million people in India are considered poor. Most of them live in the countryside and keep afloat the odd jobs. The lack of employment which provides a livable wage in rural areas is driving many Indians into rapidly growing metropolitan areas such as Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore or Kolkata. And see the situation of migrants in COVID era. Most of them expect a life of poverty and despair in the mega slums made up of millions of corrugated ironworks without sufficient drinking water supply, without garbage disposal, and many cases without electricity. And the poor hygiene conditions are the cause of disease such as cholera, typhoid, and dysentery, in which especially children suffer and die. So poverty in India impacts children, families, and individuals in a variety of different ways, just like high infant mortality rate, malnutrition, child labor, lack of education, child marriage, and also of problem of HIV/AIDS. So this is the scenario. So Chronic Poverty Research Center, a very famous center of our country, the group of economics tracking a poverty from more than 3.5 decades has come out with reports that show that India's poverty is getting chronic, concentrated in some pockets. Okay, so They say that people, households and social groups who are poor for sustained and significant or extended period of their lives and whose families and children may inherit this persistent condition. While chronic poverty is a dynamic in that people do climb out of or fall into poverty in significant numbers, existing such poverty can prove difficult. So according to their study, those who are chronically poor may pass on poverty to their next generation. And exactly this is happening in India. In India, the number of poverty is not decreasing. Percentage is decreasing, but number of poor are not decreasing. So economic studies, chronic poverty indicates that it is a thumb rule that 50% of India's poor could be termed as chronic poor at present. It means 111 million Indians will remain poor forever. The next generation remaining poor, inheriting the same level of poverty, will be highly probable. So this is a very severe situation. When we have to exactly talk of the migrant labor, we should start from population issue, then we have to address the poverty issue, and that poverty issue addresses the migrants issue, and then only we can link all the three issues and suggest some measures for the help of migrant laborers. Okay, so what is the definition of migration, dear students? Migration policy or definition can be suggested by the government statement of what is intended to do or not do, including laws, regulations, decisions or orders in regards to the selection, admission, settlement and deportation of the foreign citizens residents of countries. And the key driver of the migrants is the relationship between population growth and resource scarcity. This is the key driver of migration that is often overlooked in public debates surrounding migration. As the population grows, the resources that are needed to sustain them also increases. So from the beginning I am saying that you have to link the migration issue with population. Okay, so this is a severe relationship between migration and population. So the internal migration is also a byproduct of population growth. This is not concerned with the international migration, but the internal migration which India is facing at the time of COVID also is the byproduct of population growth. And we know, and everybody is suggesting or estimating that by 2050, it is estimated that 66% of the world's population will live in cities. And the significance of urbanization is a structural change in resource distribution. As urban population rise, the share of resources for rural population falls. So this economics moves like this. Electricity, food, water and housing are redirected to centralized locations. Cities and informal settlements continue to sprawl and there is a less agricultural labor compared to the number of urban residents. Urbanization in developing nations needs a special focus because it is different from urbanization of most developed nations. Okay, so in developing nations, this urbanization is not necessarily linked with the manufacturing jobs. Instead, several major resource export countries have an 80% urbanization rates. And in this context, dear students, cities may not offer formal employment. However, migrants may still choose urban centers due to support network available within them. As a result, undocumented migrants rises. The problems we are facing at the time of COVID, nobody knows how much or how many migrants are there. Everybody is estimating and making and pressurize the government to do something for migrant labor. But we all know that undocumented migrants rises, fueling inequality and subsequently leading to the creation of high population density in slums. And a lack of well-developed industrial sector then stands to stagnate growth while resource consumption and population both rise. And reversing this trend by decentralizing the population and redirecting its investment to regional areas are key initiatives that can tackle this problem. So population, then address poverty, and then I am moving to the key driver of migration. Okay, and this will continue. I will continue. Maybe I will continue in third video also. But very intensively, you have to study specific topics for the sake of examination also, for the sake of research also, for the sake of public discussion also, and for the sake of general knowledge. Okay, so I am preparing these 3 videos for the sake of examination, research plus public debate. Okay, so what we seek and what should be the solution? The only solution is a population policy applied on a worldwide scale. This COVID era suggested this, or suggesting this, and unfortunately, too often any discussion of overpopulation or off population policy is a taboo still in the world, or especially in India. Nobody is interested in talking about appropriate population policy. But here I am, because you all are the students of population studies, and I regularly teach this paper since last 13-14 years. My duty is to suggest you, because this is the time, perfect time to establish the importance of population studies, which includes poverty and migration, education and health as well. So how we make appropriate population policy, this is a very good time to come forward and discuss about that. Okay, so allowing welfare to shrink is often just as difficult for the rich as fleeing from poverty is for the poor. In addition, the growth scenario continues to dominate worldwide. Thinking about solution for the problem sets out here. But before tackling specific issue of migration, we should know about some key facts. Dear students, what are those key facts? So let us elaborate about those key facts. Between 2015 and 2015 to 2050, the proportion of the world's population over 60 years will nearly double from 12% to 22%. And India will also witness of this figure. And by 2020, at the end of this present year, the number of people ages 60 years and older will outnumber children younger than 5 years. And in 2050, 80% of older people will be living in low and middle income countries, which includes India. And the pace of population aging is much faster than in the past, due to urbanization, due to healthcare facilities, due to improving economic standard. So all countries face major challenges to ensure that their health and social systems are ready to make the most of the demographic shifts. So before tackling the only one issue of the population, that is migration, we should tackle all these issues, because due to COVID-19, only aged population is dying in the Western Hemisphere. I earlier told you. So these are the key factors. And what is the primary driver is of the mortality rate? Or what is the primary driver of the population growth? Lower mortality rates and living longer increase the numbers of elderly. Okay, but the primary driver of population aging is fertility, which we have to concern for that. And the low fertility results in age structures having relatively fewer children, a growing concern of many governments, and comparatively more elderly. In addition, the faster the decline from high to low fertility levels, such as taking place in China, the more rapid the transition to older population age structures. And the fertility rates below the replacement level of about 2 births per woman also mean declining population for many countries, especially those with limited immigration. So today, more than 80 countries, accounting for nearly half of the world's population, have fertility level below replacement, including China, US, Brazil, Russia, Japan, Vietnam, Germany, Iran, Thailand, and United Kingdom as well. So this all issue is also related to the migration issue as well as population issue. Okay, so what will be the impact of increasing longevity? The combination of declining birth rates, increased longevity, and growing proportion of the elderly is raising serious economic questions and physical concern within many countries in this COVID era. In particular, population aging resulting in growing financial stresses on government-sponsored retirement, pension, and healthcare programs that are challenging the sustainability of those programs. And today I heard that government of India is also rethinking of some new pension plan for the sake of this elderly one. Okay, so rising old age dependency, declines in the proportion of young workers are believed to have negative consequences on the innovation. So blessing in disguise, India have to grab this situation in the COVID era. And the recent studies report that aging population lead to declines in innovative activities or innovation activities. Okay, and when combined with aging impact on savings and investment, declines in innovations have serious implications for the growth of GDP. So today I will stop here, and tomorrow I will move forward and address the issue of migration day students. So till date I have addressed through 2 videos about the issue of population correlated with poverty, and then moving towards migration issue. Thank you and take care of your health, dear students.